So if we're talking about the caveat of XV games, my whole deal, crazy, ambitious, cleverly historic. If we're talking about why that's going to be remembered, why people will look at this as something to remember, something to motivate them, um, that's really because it's born out of ambition. It's something that says, you know what, my imagination can take me far. It can take me to incredible places, and no matter where I am in life, I can feel like I have motivation and inspiration from what's on this channel, what what lessons there are, what things I can gain from this. Because in life, you want to be gainful. You want to be gainful to get that opportunity. And, to do that, it helps to learn. It helps to learn. It helps to expand your knowledge base. It helps to think outside the box. And when you're ambitious, everything's on the table. You can open up a new world for yourself. You can do something different that you thought you couldn't do before because ambition says that it's always you can and you can't. And there are points in life when you are going to have to be a doer when you think you can't. And obviously, when we look at it from a psychological standpoint, we look at it from a physiological standpoint, obviously you've got structures in your brain, which is known as the parasympathetic and sympathetic nervous system. The parasympathetic nervous system basically is like a brake that keeps you calm, keeps you baseline, keeps your heart rate at, calm and collective, slow, not slower, but slow. And your sympathetic nervous system is what engages fight or flight, which raises your blood pressure and more or less mobilizes you for the threat of danger, and so that you can make a decision when you can't. And all of that, in my personal experience, is what I hope people do remember. Unfortunately, because I am a small content creator, it's more of a word of mouth thing. So someone's gonna see it. They gotta spread the word. They gotta tell someone, tell a few bunch of people. Maybe they travel from one country, go to another country. They tell people in that country, and the people in that country will spread the word in that way, and just help me to expand my footprint. When you're an established content creator, when you're known throughout the microphone, it's easier to establish yourself and your brand. And when you're first getting started, it's tougher. It's tougher on the little guy. And I'm very fortunate that I actually do have a network of people that are getting to know me and my story and what XVIII Games aims to accomplish and what I'm doing, which is ultimately and essentially marketing my own game, which is what I'm doing. With the rep situation reports, these series of greetings that I do, weekday hey say, weeknight highlight, weekend greeting, weekend ending, weekday holly hey, weekend holly hey, which is an update that's posted on any holiday. I just see it as being something. It's just different. It's just very different, and it's a way to connect with people, that isn't common. And, you do want to go and you take the path less traveled. You do, because you're gonna prove it to yourself that you can do what's never been done before, and when you do that, it's the most goddamn wonderful feeling in the world. And then you're gonna take that inspiration and you're gonna give that to other people, and you're gonna take that cycle and keep it spinning and spinning and spinning. And at the same time, what you're going to do is help people to spin their wheels when they're crashing and burning and their engine can't start. They can't start themselves. They can't start their journey. They can't start their path. And there's a lot of extrinsic and intrinsic factors in this life that will do their best to bring you down. And you've got to get out of your own way, keep moving forward, even if it's a half step. The worst thing you can do is quit. Obviously. And it's very easy to do. It's very easy to flip that switch and say, you're done. But you can't be done because the truth is you're not over. Truth is it's only beginning. Every day is a chance to chase greatness. To reset and say, okay, I'm going to do one better than yesterday. And I'm going to keep going and going and going and going. And obviously no one's going to stop me. And any sticks or stones thrown at me will in no way slow me down. Won't be a barrier. Because when you're in your own way, it's literally you in the way of yourself moving forward. You don't want any barriers. You don't want any barriers. You want motivation. And motivation comes in words, with words. It's like words have certain psychological properties, And negative words will keep you negative. Positive words will keep you positive. You don't want to slow down. You don't want to feel like, you're a car without an alternator, that's shutting down slowly or a robot winding down. You don't want to get to that point because that's one way to describe depression. Another way to describe depression is there's this picture that shows this sculpture. I'm sure you've seen this before, but it's got a big gaping hole, and it's like this person has a void and they just lost touch with reality, and they got their hands hands on their holding their head up, and they're just down. And it's a very, very good visual descriptor, good visualization of depression. Now, I have a loved one, as you know, that has that problem, my mother, and you've known I'm a vlogger, and I've vlogged about her for the past 3 years. And obviously she's getting better, but she's got OCD, depression, psychosis, definitely schizophrenia, not confirmed, but was mentioned by her other hospitals that she was admitted to, bipolar, auditory hallucinations, which obviously psychosis, schizophrenia, and anxiety, and that's why I have anxiety too. And it's very, very tough. But you got to keep moving forward. I could talk about this all day. I could say it in 1,000 words, or I could say it in one. But the truth is, you can't say it in just one word. So my best advice to you is, if you have a loved one, when we're talking about mental illness, you got to get them the help they need. Don't let them settle for the whole mediumship deal. Don't let them sink. Don't let them check out a reality. Don't let them become a former version of themselves. Because if they get to that point, or you allow them to get to that point, there may not be a point of return. There may not be a point of return. When you have a mental break, or a psychotic break, or a psychotic snap, your brain has to be reprogrammed. And how you do that is progressively over time, with therapy, with medication, with a network, with people, with good vibes and good times, and that probably will last them the rest of their life, depending on how deep the damage is. How long they've suppressed things, how long they've had the mental illness. In the case of my mother, who's had it for like almost 4 years, she's got a long way to go. She's recovering, but she's got a long way to go. And that's one way to essentially look at what the significance of XSP games is. But it's much more than that. It's much more to that, and as founder and CEO, which again is an official thing, it's my job to bring that to you and show you every angle of my game, and that's what I'm going to do. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. Stay safe, stay sharp, and the best is yet to come. Just count on it. And if you have no worry, there'll be no worry.